All right, so you wanted more than just the headlines from that Arsenal win over Manchester United, huh?
Way more.
We're going deep on the tactics, and honestly, uh, it's like a whole different game when you see the strategy.
Oh, for sure.
We've got expert analysis breaking down everything.
Everything.
Formations to those little decisions that won and lost the game.
The tiny things make all the difference.
It's amazing how much you miss just watching it live.
It is, isn't it? You just see the ball going back and forth.
Everyone thought Man U would be dangerous on the counter.
Oh, absolutely.
But Arteta just shut it down completely with the way Arsenal was set up.
Yeah, that was the most interesting thing.
Before the match, all anyone talked about was Rashford and Antony.
So much pace.
And how they'd cause trouble with their speed.
Third game.
But Arsenal's midfield was...
airtight.
They barely even got the ball.
Nope.
That's where Declan Rice comes in, right?
There he is.
People think he's just a defensive wall.
Big, strong guy.
But he's doing so much more than that.
Oh, so much more.
Arteta using him as a deep-lying playmaker.
Genius.
That was the masterstroke.
For sure.
I thought I knew football, but
What?
seeing how Rice completely changed that game,
It's another level, isn't it?
there are levels to this.
Layers.
So break it down.
Yeah.
How was he more than just a defender?
Positioning and anticipation. It's not just about stopping attacks. He was cutting off passing lanes.
Those lanes that feed Bruno Fernandes.
Exactly. Fernandes is Man U's creative heart. But Rice being there in that deep lying role meant no service.
Some people would say that gives Rice too much credit.
They might.
Maybe Fernandes just had a bad game.
Tempting to think that.
Right.
But look at the footage. Every time Fernandes tried to get involved, Rice was already there.
Anticipating the move.
Like he knew what was going to happen, disrupted their whole buildup.
Man, you couldn't get those quick passes in.
Those incisive passes that they're known for.
So Arteta had a plan to shut down Fernandes.
It sure looks that way.
And Rice was the key.
Couldn't have done it without him.
It wasn't just about stopping Man U, though, right?
No.
Rice in that role, he launches a lot of Arsenal's attacks as well.
He was all over the pitch.
That interception that led to the first goal.
Oh, yeah.
Textbook.
Deep-lying playmaker in action.
You could see how fast they transitioned.
From defense to attack in a flash.
Started with Rice.
The catalyst.
It wasn't just the midfield, though.
You're right.
Arsenal's wingers were giving Man U's defense nightmares.
Absolutely. Inverted wingers on full display.
Saka and Martinelli constantly cutting inside.
Overloading the defense in those central areas.
Instead of hugging the sideline, they were in more dangerous positions.
Creates confusion.
Yeah. Why is that so effective?
Fullback's got to make a decision.
Do they follow?
Or stay put.
Right? They looked flustered.
Totally. They kept trying to push their wingbacks forward to help out.
Just gave Saka and Martinelli more space.
Exactly. Chain reaction.
And then it gets even more dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Because those inverted wingers can use their strong foot. No wonder Man U was so shaky at the back.
All that attacking going on, but Arsenal's defense
So compact.
always stayed disciplined.
Wasn't just about goals.
Control the whole field.
Arteta's philosophy at work.
Even when attacking defensive discipline.
But what about Man U?
Yeah.
Why couldn't they break through?
Well,
They got some serious attacking talent.
big hurdles. Missing Martinez was huge.
Yeah.
Anchor of their defense.
Without him.
Back three just looked lost.
They were scrambling to cover gaps.
Yeah.
Counterattacking strategy everyone expected.
Didn't happen.
The 3-4-3 they started with.
Relies on quick transitions.
Using the wing backs for width.
But without Martinez, the back line was too nervous to push up.
So no space.
Not really.
And with Rice shutting down their main creative outlet,
Fernandes?
it's not a surprise they didn't create many chances.
They tried to adjust, bringing on Mason Mount.
To control the midfield,
Tried to.
Arsenal's dominance was just too strong by then.
Yep.
Moving Anthony central didn't work either.
Nope.
Saliba and Gabriel rock solid at the back.
Wow.
So even with the personnel changes
Yep.
and the tactical tweaks,
Yeah.
Manair just couldn't find an answer.
Arteta was one step ahead.
Fascinating tactical battle.
It really was.
Let's look at some individual performances
Okay.
that really made a difference in this tactical showdown.
Sure.
We talked about Rice,
Huge impact.
but there were others who stood out.
Oh, yeah.
Martin Odegaard pulling the strings in attack.
His movement between the lines was so dangerous.
Every time I looked up, he was finding space,
Pockets everywhere.
creating a dangerous opportunity,
Like a puppet master.
dictating the attack.
He wasn't just passing.
Right.
He was manipulating the defense, drawing players out, creating those gaps.
Let's not forget about William Saliba,
Scored a crucial goal.
but his defense was equally impressive.
Headers, interceptions, reading the game.
He's quickly becoming one of the best young defenders.
In the world.
composure awareness.
At that age, remarkable.
Bruno Fernandes had a quieter game than usual.
Yeah.
More a testament to Arsenal's tactical dominance than anything else.
World-class player.
Yeah.
He was constantly under pressure. No space.
Like they had a plan to neutralize him.
And they executed it perfectly.
I did notice Amad Diallo brought some spark when he came on.
Energy and pace.
His runs were causing problems.
Well, a bit.
But it was too little too late.
At that point, yeah.
Even his speed couldn't break through.
They were disciplined at the back.
They wanted that clean
They
sheet.
got the lead.
Let's talk about the adjustments both managers made.
Interesting stuff.
Arteta made a couple key substitutions.
Let's discuss.
Bringing on Jorginho felt calculated.
Very much so.
Solidify the midfield.
Yes.
Shut down any chance of a Man U comeback.
He controls the tempo.
So it wasn't just fresh
It's
legs.
a tactical experience.
Worked brilliantly.
Man, you couldn't get through after that.
Nope.
What about bringing on Trossard?
Trossard.
He didn't score,
No.
but he made an impact.
Fresh leg, exploiting those defensive lapses
That happened late in the game.
with pace
Constant threat.
on the counter.
Yeah.
So Arteta's substitutions were about control
Yes.
and a different dimension to the attack.
Keeping them guessing.
What about Amorim?
Mm.
Any significant adjustments to turn the tide?
He tried.
But nothing really worked. Bringing on Mason Mount was to shore up the midfield,
Right.
get control.
Yes.
But it was too little too late.
Arsenal had that midfield lockdown.
And he tried moving Anthony central.
Hoping to find a weakness.
In the back line.
Yep.
How'd that work out?
Not well.
Saliba and Gabriel were just too solid.
They dealt with him easily.
Seemed like Amorim was trying everything.
Throwing everything at them.
But he couldn't crack Arteta's code.
He was always a move ahead.
All right, rewind.
Okay.
Talk about the game-changing moment
Big moments.
that decided the match.
Right.
Rice's interception for Arsenal's first goal.
Crucial.
Perfect example of his ability to read the game.
Break up the attack.
Launched the counter.
Instantaneously.
It felt like the turning point.
It did.
Gave them the lead.
Took the wind out of Man U's sails.
Then Saliba's header for the second.
Great goal.
Exposed weaknesses.
In the defensive system,
It seemed like it came out of nowhere.
1 minute they're defending comfortably.
Next minute.
Saliba's rising above everyone.
What happened there?
Zonal marking.
Instead of man marking.
Yeah, each defender has a zone.
And it backfired.
Looks like confusion over who is picking up Saliba.
Left him unmarked.
Happens with zonal marking communication breakdown.
If players aren't aware.
Leads to defensive lapses.
So it was the well-executed set piece
From Arsenal.
and a lapse in concentration.
From Man U's defense.
Tiny details make all the
A
difference.
huge difference.
This match was full of them.
All adding up.
To tell the story of why Arsenal won.
Arteta's plan worked perfectly.
Amorim struggled to find solutions.
Just couldn't keep up.
We've covered a lot.
From tactics to moments.
But before we wrap up this part,
Okay.
I want your thoughts on the bigger picture.
Yeah.
What did this match tell us about these two teams?
And their ambitions for the rest of the season?
Let's take a deeper look into that in part 2.
Sounds good. Picking up where we left off, team cohesion makes a huge difference in a result like this.
Oh, yeah.
Arsenal weren't just playing well individually, they were playing as a unit.
You could tell everyone was on the same page.
Yeah, like they could anticipate what their teammate was going to do.
Almost like a hive mind.
Hours on the training ground, tactical briefings,
Arteta's instilled his style
and they've bought in.
completely.
We see a team clicking.
But there's a lot behind those 90 minutes.
So much hard work.
Speaking of hard work, Arteta's management was all over this match.
Everywhere.
Substitutions, little tweaks.
What's your take on how he approaches the game?
Meticulous.
Yes.
He's thought about every possible scenario.
And he has a plan.
But it's not just tactics.
Right.
It's a culture, a belief.
In the system.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Totally. The players are that confident they're working together.
It's hard to disrupt.
It really is.
Amorim still new at Man U.
Still early days.
What have you observed about his approach?
He's trying to install his philosophy, possession-based football quick transitions,
Right.
but it's not quite clicking yet.
I saw moments where it almost worked,
Oh, glimpses.
but then they'd fall apart. Like they didn't know what to do next.
Building a team takes time.
Especially at a club like Man U.
All that pressure.
The talent is there,
Oh, yeah.
but they're still developing that understanding.
But the trust isn't there yet.
You know, beyond the big stuff,
Mm.
anything you notice that maybe most people wouldn't?
Arsenal's fullbacks were constantly overlapping.
Oh, yeah.
Zinchenko and White.
They weren't just sitting back.
Pushing forward, creating overloads.
It was like Zinchenko was a winger at times.
Gave Saka even more space to cut inside.
So hard to defend against.
Coordinated movement, tactical awareness, communication.
They have to trust each other.
That the guy behind them has got their back.
Like a dance routine.
One wrong step.
And the whole thing falls apart.
I was also impressed with how often Arsenal were winning the second balls.
Those 50-50 challenges in midfield.
Snapping them up.
Keeping possession.
He's rolling the tempo.
It doesn't always show up in the stats.
No.
But it makes a huge difference.
It's hunger, desire.
To win every battle.
You've talked formations, players, managers.
Subtle tactical moves.
But there's another layer.
The mental game.
How do you think this win affects Arsenal moving forward?
Big confidence booster.
It's a statement beating a rival like Man U.
And so convincingly.
Validates everything.
Belief in the system gets stronger.
Momentum.
Sends a message to the rest of the league.
Arsenal is a contender.
Don't underestimate them.
Mental edge is powerful.
What about Man U?
It's a blow for sure.
But it's early.
Plenty of time to regroup.
The question is, how do they respond?
Separates the good from the great.
Do they let this crush them?
Or fuel them?
We'll see how Amorim handles it.
He's got a big job ahead of him.
Talented squad.
It'll be interesting to see how they bounce back.
I feel like I watched the match again.
You do.
But with a whole new understanding.
And it's tactical analysis.
Uncovering those layers.
Yeah.
The little details that tell the real story.
And our listeners feeling that same sense of discovery.
They wanted the why behind the what.
And we delivered.
I love sharing this passion.
Me too.
And seeing people get excited about the tactical side.
Makes it all worthwhile.
Let's do a quick recap before the final part.
Okay.
What were the biggest things that jumped out at you?
Arsenal's tactical superiority.
They were in control the whole time.
Arteta's game plan worked perfectly.
They were a machine.
Every player knew their role.
Movements synchronized.
Relentless.
And Declan Rice?
Phenomenal.
Deep-lying playmaker.
Dictating the rhythm.
Defensively, offensively.
Engine.
Shut down Man U's creativity.
Sparked Arsenal's attacks. Man U struggled.
Missing key players didn't help.
But they made mistakes.
And they couldn't match Arsenal's intensity.
And discipline.
Their defense was exposed.
Amorim has to fix that.
If they want to challenge from the top.
It was a dominant performance.
And a reality check.
But it's just one game.
Long season ahead.
Plenty of time to learn and grow.
Every match is a chance to improve.
To adapt.
To reach that next level.
Now we move on to the final part.
Explore some broader trends in modern football.
See what this match tells us about the future of the game.
All right, we went deep on the tactics and the individual performances.
We did.
But how does this match fit into the bigger picture?
The evolution of football.
Yeah.
Like, we saw the future.
I was so focused on the attackers before the match.
The flashy stuff.
But that midfield battle.
Well, it's crucial.
Why is that area becoming so important?
It's simple. The team that wins the midfield wins the ball.
Right.
They control everything, the tempo, the opponents build up their own attacks.
We're seeing more teams using a three-man midfield.
Gotta have that numerical advantage.
Which makes Declan Rice even more valuable.
He's not just stopping attacks, he's starting them too.
Is this deep-lying playmaker going to be the key position in the future?
More and more influential.
It used to be all about the number 10, the creative playmaker.
It's a classic.
But the game's so fast now you need to transition quickly.
That deep-lying playmaker is essential.
It's not just those long passes anymore.
The Hollywood pass.
It's about knowing when to defend and when to pick out the right pass.
To launch a counter.
And all the top teams have that kind of player.
Rodri at City, Fabinho at Liverpool.
You got to have it if you want to win titles.
It's a must.
What about those inverted wingers?
They're changing the game.
Cutting inside, causing chaos.
They're using their stronger foot more often.
Makes sense.
Shooting crossing.
And it creates these movements that are hard to defend against.
Dynamic.
So unpredictable.
Will they go wide?
Cut inside.
Lay it off.
It makes the managers rethink everything.
Defensively.
Do they man mark?
Risk getting pulled out of position.
Or go zonal.
Leave gaps in the center.
It's like chess.
Constant adjustments.
Arteta was a chess master in this match.
What can other managers learn from him?
He's data-driven.
Analyzing, adapting, innovating.
But it's more than just numbers. You need the right culture.
The players were all on the same page.
Bought into his vision.
It wasn't just talent, it was belief.
Powerful stuff.
The best managers today know it's about more than tactics.
It's about building a team.
Fostering that unity.
Instilling that winning mentality.
That's what makes Arteta's blueprint so interesting.
Lots of clubs trying to copy it.
Finding that balance between the tactics, the data, and the culture.
That's the challenge.
For any manager who wants to win.
It's not easy.
This match was a reminder that football is about more than just the score.
So much more.
It's a beautiful game,
A blast.
full of strategy, skill, and moments of brilliance.
That take your breath away.
We've only scratched the surface.
So many layers to uncover. Stories hidden in the tactics and the data.
Endless fascination.
So to our listener, keep watching. Keep learning.
Keep asking those why questions.
The more you understand, the more you'll appreciate it.
The magic unfolds right before your eyes.
And if you want to keep going deep on the tactical side,
You know where to find us?
we'll be back with another episode,
Breaking down another match.
uncovering those hidden layers of the beautiful game.
Absolutely.
That's it for our deep dive into Arsenal versus Manchester United.
We hope you enjoyed it.
Learn something new
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning.
and keep the conversation going.